On another topic, I know you discussed before about college football playoff. What's your opinion on the selection process of that?
Again, I think that's what all this goes back to. Whether it's a BCS game, 14 playoff, an 18 playoff, a 16-team playoff, whatever it may be, I think that's the critical point of having consistency in how we pick these teams. I think because, like everybody says, well, this will eliminate that. Well, you know what? We're going to be fighting over who's fourth and fifth like we were who's second and third. And if you go to 8, you're going to be fighting over who's 8 and 9 just like you were over who's second and third. I mean, I think, but the thing is, make sure, and I don't know the answer. I'm not privy to everything they're saying, but, we have some thoughts on some things we did as coaches. But, I think that selection process is going to be critical to the I guess what's the word I'm trying to say? The
Credibility.
yeah, not now say durability, but to it's not that it justifies the justification of doing this, but I think that's going to be the key to the thing. And they're saying they're changing this whole process, so it's going to be very interesting.
Well, what's your opinion on the committee or the mathematical rankings, or should there be an AQ, or do you have any?
Well, see, some of these polls, I know they canceled it. Like last year, there was polls, and I said this before. We're sitting there 10-1, play a great schedule, and we have teams that are 7-4 to 15th on this one poll, and we're not even on it. And we're ranked 6th or 7th or whatever we were at that part. I mean, we have to find some consistency in that. There can't be that much deviation in what people think of a poll and how. I know they say there's multiple polls and all canceled. Vote them alone. I mean, don't give me that there's that much deviation in polls. And somebody screwed up. I mean, that's like Con called play and saying it's supposed to go thrown all the way to the right and you throw it all the way left and he's right. I mean, come on. I don't buy that, but that's one of the things. And I think, which they don't, I think the coaches poll should be a factor in it also. We all said that as a group of coaches.
Jimbo, to your point about the selection process, 5 power conferences, 4 spots in the playoff. Someone's getting left out.
Exactly right. And then you have independence.
Right, of course, with Notre Dame, right? So,
I'm a believer in this, and I don't understand, and I say this. We're talking about a selection process, right? Going to games. We're the only sport in America, maybe the world, that we pick a champion, and we're not on, and not every guy in that is on the same format. Number of games, conference championship, or whatever. Now that makes no sense to me. I think that's crazy. I really do. I mean, I think that's something that needs to be solidified.
And as much as perception plays into it, where does the ACC sit in that equation? Are you worried about that?
Because I'm going to tell you something, and I mean this. Sports writers are going to have as much influence as anything. You can say it all you want to. You're going to have a tremendous influence on who this game, just like you did before. And the ESPN polls, all that. I think it's going to be a tremendous, because it's all about perception.
But given that, what's going to be your non-conference scheduling philosophy kind of going forward?
You got the business. Like next year, it's Notre Dame, Florida, and Oklahoma State. And after that, we're going to we have to have 1 or 2 major non-conference games. And that's that, especially with an 8-game conference schedule. When you're only playing 8 conference games, you have to have a strong non-conference schedule to get 2 good quality opponents.
Is that because you want to press the selection committee?
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, I think you have to, and I think if they're saying that's going to carry weight like it's supposed to be, I think that's a great thing.
Do you think it reaches a critical mass after a couple years where it just has to go to 8 because there's too much noise about that?
Well, then where's it stop? 16. But here's because I'm a believer in this now. Saying all that, I'm for it, but I do not want it to. The bowl system is a huge part of college football, and I think it's a very important part of college football. I know a lot of folks don't understand it because it all focuses on the champion of the national, which is very important. The bowl games are very important to college football and the growth of programs. You wouldn't have had the Boise's, the Utahs, the TCU, even back in the day, the Florida State without a bowl system. Whenever all these teams were growing, the bowl system is still a vital part, and you keep deleting and taking so many great teams away from it, you make it totally non-important. And I don't think it should go that far. I think the bowl system is still a very important part of college football.
Would you like having 8 league games a year, or would you rather have 9 conference games?
You know what I said? Here's what I worry about. You're getting these conferences so big, and I want 8, and I'm for 8, and I understand 9. But at the same time, your conference champion can be determined by the draw of who you pull from the other side. When you're talking about leagues that are, how are you truly finding a true conference champion? You know what I'm saying? And then a guy that plays in the league and doesn't get to play everybody in his own league, and he's in that league for 4 years. How much is that? I'm not too sure. I mean, they talk about 9. What's wrong with 10? And balance it up. And then you don't have to worry about paying all these for the ADs, talking about your buy-in games and buying this game and buying that game. How about eliminates all that? Then you have one big get your non-conference game and the other, and go at it. You know what I'm saying? And you have your 12 game schedule and have one other significant into one other game. But I mean, I think it saves money. And you can find out who a true conference champion is. It balances at 5 and 5, and you keep the rotation right. At least when you're playing a league, you at least play everybody in that league during your time in the conference.
Is your opinion on that affected by how difficult it is, especially with the money, to get some of those teams in? Because before you wanted 8 over 9.
And even still going to schedule great non-conference opponents. It's hard to schedule them in the home series because they're all in it. You have to play them, which is now. I think the kickoff games and those things. I think they're very good. I think those will emerge as greater things down the road because of the difficulty of scheduling home and home series because of conference scheduling and the conflicts.